Hey, what's up everyone, known as Geeks. I'm going to show you how to use VM Workstation if you need it for high school or your college. You want to learn how to use it. You want to go ahead and get the latest edition. I don't care how you get it. That's all on you. First you want to go ahead and install it and install the updates that require. If you have a legit version, grab all the updates, and if you don't have a legit version, do not grab all the updates. You can either install it in an ISO or an actual CD, and I'm going to show you how to mount it with an ISO. So you want to go ahead and create a new virtual machine. You want to go ahead and click custom for advanced users, or you can just do a typical. This is for normal users, but let's just do a custom virtual machine. The compatibility, you always want to select the latest, because the latest will always do the compatibility for like Windows 7 or 8. It shows you here the compatible products, so which ones works with what. So you just want to click on next. You can either use a disk or you can use an ISO file, which is an image file. It's basically the disk itself but saved in ISO format. Let's do the installer disk and show you how to mount it. Make sure you know where your ISO is at if you created one for it. And it will detect which operating system it is. Windows 7 64-bit detected. This operating system will use an easy install. So basically when you install, it will give it the recommended settings. You can always install it later if you want. If you have a product key, go ahead and install it. But if you're just testing it out, learning how to do it for your school or for your college or your high school, or just want to learn it just to learn it, or for your customers, you can always install a product key or just leave it blank. But always choose which operating system you want to install. Either basic, home, premium, professional, or ultimate. Let's just go with ultimate and click next. You can add a password and a name if you want. It's optional. It's not really necessary. Click next. This is you do not enter a Windows product key. Windows will install without one, but must be manually activated. Enter. Would you like to continue? Like I said, you can add a serial key to it, a fake one or a blacklisted one. Just for testing purposes, you go ahead and do it. Let's just click yes, because you don't really need it. Click next. And this allows you to how many processors you want to run. Not cores, not processors. Basically, if you have more than one processor, you have a server. I do not have a server, so I only have one processor, but I do have 4 cores, and I can allow up to 8 cores. So let's just do 2 for now, and click next. And you can always give it the amount of memory that it needs. And here it's recommending maximum memory 7264. I have 8 gigs total, so right here is the maximum memory. Let's just do recommended. Let's do 1 gig. Click on next. And you always want to do this. If you want to be able to surf the internet on that operating system, always use network address translation. Anything else is it's an advanced option. Like this one is a private virtual network on the host's computer. You can allow it to a specific internet, or do not use a connection or bridge between the NIC network interface card on your computer and the virtual one that's implemented in the virtual machine. Always want to go with the latest controller, which is always recommended. You always want to create a new virtual disk or use an existing virtual disk which is already pre-configured. Say like a friend gives it to you, or a teacher says, I want you to use it for this settings. You always want to use this one. Or you can always use a physical disk, which is like a hard drive itself that has the image itself on there. For example, I'm going to go to start computer, and let's say the gaming hard drive is Windows 8, and you want to try out Windows 8 because your teacher from high school or college showed you that. I want you to try this hard drive, so he gives it to you and says, try this hard drive with the specific settings. Do not change it, just run it, just like that. So you would select it with the physical disk, and you would tell it where to go, and this is the hard drive that has the image on it. So let's just create a new virtual disk. SCSI is always recommended, not IDE. For SCSI is always recommended for virtual machines because it's faster. IED is a legacy product, but it's still being used nowadays, like in SATA ports and PATA connections. Let's click next. What's the size of the disk you want to use? You can always go with the recommended. If you're not going to be installing a bunch of stuff, just bring it down to about 5 to 8 gigs. Let's just make it 7 gigs. No, let's make it 8 gigs. You can allocate the space now. It would use your entire hard drive that you are using now. It would use it, all of it, like if you're just running a regular operating system without the virtual machine. You can do that if you want for better performance, but it's not really necessary if you have a good PC. If you have a slower PC, you might want to try it with this. You can always store your disk as a single file or into multiple. Reason is for multiple because you can always translate. You can always what's the word I'm looking for? You can always take these disks with you. Like say your teacher tells you, okay, I want you to use these files. These files are separated into little pieces, but virtual machine recognizes these files and will put them all together on its own programming. So, but you don't need that right now. This is for something else. Let's go to next, and it's going to ask you what name do you want to create for this. It's Windows 7 64-bit. That's fine. And it's telling you here what you've chosen: CD, DVD, floppy drive, USB controller, printer, sound card. You can always customize the hardware, like number of processors, memory, how much you want to use, the CD, what you're going to use. You can either use a physical drive, which is a CD, or an ISO software. Floppy drive, you don't have to use a floppy drive. You can always just you can use it if you want, if you have one on your PC, or you can use a floppy drive image, like if you want to flash like a hardware or like a BIOS on your computer or something. But this is not necessarily needed. This is rarely used, and this is for your network interface card, the one that receives the internet. You can always change your settings for high-speed USB 2.0 support, or just use the 1.1 support for USB. You can always connect new devices, say like a flash drive. You connect it to your computer and the virtual machine will always show it. And this will show all USB inputs. Sound card automatically detected, and you can always specify which one to use. You just use default host sound card, which is for me is Creative Sound Blaster. Printer, if you have a printer, it'll automatically detect it, and display port, or it'll automatically tell you what's being used, or what you can specify a monitor. You can always give how many monitors you want to use. You can add up to 10. You can always use a resolution as well. Yeah, that's basically about it for hardware. You can always add something. This is for advanced users. You will see in the user's account control box once you click add, but you cannot see it because Cam Studio does not show this. Yeah, you can always add something like a serial port, parallel port, or generic SCSI drive. So let's just click OK because we're done with these settings. Actually, let's go back, and then you want to change the display to one monitor and use host settings for monitors. Yes. Okay, let's click finished, and VMware will automatically go to your hard drive or your CD drive, whichever you choose, and will automatically boot up the files. So let it boot and do what it needs to do, and install the operating system like normal, like you would install it on like a computer or for a customer. So just install it, and then it just works just like a normal computer, like I said before. So let's just wait for it to continue installing. Continue to run, I'm sorry. As you can see, it's booting up. It's fairly quick. So it's automatically doing the settings for you because you chosen the settings in the beginning. This is basically it's telling me that I don't have any space, which I do. It's one of the common errors for Windows or VMware Workstation. But yeah, this VMware Workstation installs normally, and if you have that problem and if you have very little space, try getting yourself another hard drive with a good amount of space, and make sure you have good memory on your PC. At least 4 gigs is required. You should always have at least 4 to 6 to 8 gigs. Less than 2, always slow down your computer and slow down what you're trying to do. Yeah, so that's basically about it. Like I said before, VMware installs the operating system onto your computer, and not to the computer, but installs operating system inside VMware Workstation. It acts like a computer itself. Yeah, that's about it. If you ever want to try like Windows 8, which is the leaked version out there somewhere, I'm not going to tell you where, you can always download it. Or you want to try like Mac operating system on the computer, you want to like try it out, you want to train for it, you just want to know what's it like, this is something for you to use, VMware Workstation. Yeah, so that's about it. Gave almost everything. This was just for advanced users. You don't have to mess with this. Yeah, you can always stop your operating system, pause it, or continue it, like power it on. Yeah, that's basically about it. This is Known as Geeks. If you have any questions, comments, leave a question in my pants, or you can just email me via YouTube. Need help on a tutorial, or you need help on a do-yourself project or some computer hardware installation, just like I said, hit me up an email on YouTube email, or leave a comment in my pants. Again, this is Known as Geeks. Thank you for watching.